The Deep Wound status effect applies only to survivors, and unlike other status effects, it is not represented by a symbol on the right-hand side of your screen. Instead, it is represented by this orange bar under the affected survivor's name in the profiles in the bottom left corner, as well as this more bloody and less saturated looking screen. This orange bar represents the amount of time that survivor has until they go into the dying state. The amount of time varies depending on what causes the Deep Wound status effect. Only the survivors can see how much time is left on a Deep Wound timer, as you can see here. On the killer's side, they will see the bar indicating the survivor has Deep Wound, but they cannot see how much time is left until they go into the dying state. If the survivor goes into the dying state, they will scream and reveal their location to the killer. In order to prevent yourself from going into the dying state, you must complete a new action called Mend. You can mend yourself, or another survivor can mend you as well. Mending pauses the bleed out timer, and it takes 15 seconds to mend. Mend progress is always saved, so you can continue it later if you need to run during the bleed out timer. An important thing to know about this timer is that while the afflicted survivor is in the killer's terror radius, it will pause. Mending speed can be increased by any perks that increase the survivor action speed. Currently, those perks are Spine Chill and Resilience. Now, if you're thinking about Leader, which also increases survivor action speeds, it actually does not affect the mend action at all. Now that you know what Deep Wound is, let's see what causes it. The survivor perk Borrowed Time, which is one of Bill's unique perks, has the Deep Wound status effect built into it. It says, after unhooking a survivor within the killer's terror radius for 15 seconds, any damage taken that would put the unhooked survivor into the dying state will instead apply the Deep Wound status effect. The survivor has 10, 15, or 20 seconds to mend themselves. If the unhooked survivor takes any damage while affected by Deep Wound, or if the Deep Wound timer ends, the unhooked survivor is immediately put into the dying state. With Borrowed Time, the length of the Deep Wound status effect depends on the rank. As the perk said, you only have 10, 15, or 20 seconds to mend before your timer runs out and puts you into the dying state. Besides Borrowed Time, the only other way to get Deep Wound is if you are playing against the Legion. The Legion has Deep Wound built into their power. Just to sum up their power quickly, they press the ability button to activate Feral Frenzy. While Feral Frenzy is active, they run faster, can vault windows and pallets, and their hit attacks will apply the Deep Wound status effect. Unlike Borrowed Time, the timer of the Legion's Deep Wound is 30 seconds, and the Legion cannot see blood or scratch marks while Feral Frenzy is active. Once they hit a survivor, it resets the duration of Feral Frenzy, and any survivors in the terror radius will have their locations revealed. If they hit a survivor that has Deep Wound on them already, it will reset all their current mend progress, and the Legion's power will be cancelled immediately and then causes fatigue. Their power is also cancelled if they miss an attack, and the Legion always gets fatigued when Feral Frenzy ends. Whenever the Legion lands a normal hit on a survivor, 50% of Feral Frenzy's progress is removed. The Legion has some add-ons that can modify the Deep Wound status effect. Their rare Nasty Blade will slightly increase the amount of time required for survivors to complete the mend action. This add-on does not stack, and it makes mending take about 17 seconds. The very rare Filthy Blade moderately increases the amount of time required for survivors to complete the mend action. This add-on does not stack. It makes mending take about 18.5 seconds. The very rare Frank's Mixtape allows Feral Frenzy attacks to moderately reduce a survivor's Deep Wound timer. This means every time a survivor with Deep Wound gets hit by Feral Frenzy, a portion of the Deep Wound timer will be removed. And finally, the very rare stab wound study considerably decreases the deep wound timer of all survivors. You can tell this add-on is an effect because when the Legion hits you with Feral Frenzy, some of the deep wound timer will already be depleted. And that is the deep wound stats effect. I hope this video has helped you out, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. As always, good luck out there in the fog, and see you next time.